Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Hello and welcome to Zach's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Craig Foster, who's CEO at Ondo. How are you today, Craig?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Zach. Good to talk to you again.
Right, we've had a great run on the stock market over the last few weeks and months, I suppose. Not many people have achieved that. You have a special niche in your market. It's a specialist offering that you have. Maybe you could explain to people exactly what Ondo does.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, still a lot of people are not that familiar with the company. So, Ondo's aim is to be a world leader in claim prevention technology for the insurance sector. And the reason why we're focused on that is we've got a proprietary technology, and it's a small sensor, basically, Zach, that can detect a water leak anywhere in a house. So it's something that's fairly low cost to produce. We sell it as a full end-to-end system to insurance companies, and they give it away for free to people with home insurance. So you just clip it to a pipe. It can detect a leak anywhere on the mains water system on your plumbing. And then if you've got a leak, you can, through the app, book a plumber to come and fix the root cause of the problem. And that saves insurance companies a huge amount of money. What we've increasingly also noticed is we also reduce water consumption in the house by a lot. So we're increasingly getting more environmental interest from water companies. We've got the green economy mark on the stock market. So there's kind of two dual benefits: an environmental benefit on the one hand, and but also a real material cost saving for big insurance companies.
I mean, it seems like such a brilliant idea. Why hasn't anybody else done this before?
I think people have tried and not quite got the solution right. So there's a few competitor solutions in the United States, and they're either systems where you have to cut the pipe and install something in line into the plumbing, and they work very well, but they're $500 for a system, and then you also need a professional plumber to go and install it. Or you can put small moisture sensors in a particular place, and they'll detect a leak if water falls onto the leak. The problem with them is the leaks are hidden. So if you think when the plumbing is in your house, Zach, the pipes are in the cavity walls, in the ceiling, you can't actually access them. So what we invented a new way of detecting leaks. So it's a non-invasive technology, and you just clip it to the pipe, and that single unit can detect a leak anywhere in the house, and it's really sensitive, down to just 5 milliliters a minute. So imagine just a small drip, and that's really relevant for the insurance use case, because it's those small leaks that start dripping behind your tiles in your bathroom, in a ceiling somewhere, and you can't see that until it's caused enough damage for you to see it. But with our technology, we see that really early, and we find and fix it before it's caused damage to your home.
So is this technology that you own outright?
Yep, we own the IP outright. We've got 29 patents around the world, including Europe and including the United States, importantly, as well.
And presumably you are you'll be working hand in hand with insurance companies, and well, I suppose insurance companies are the main link that you'll have. But most insurance companies are like billion-pound or multi-billion-pound companies. You're just at 20 million at the moment. Isn't it just easier for them to say, well, actually, I'll just Ondo's got this technology, I'll buy Ondo out?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing, because in terms of people, what value would different partners place on the company? An insurance company would value it on the value that they can derive as a single insurer. It's actually interesting. And a more interesting question is, who would value the company? Because if you're working with lots and lots of insurers, we already work with 13 insurers across 4 different countries. And you're absolutely right. They're huge insurance companies, and the thing that we've developed is quite an easy turnkey solution. So unless they want to, they don't need to do a huge amount of development. It's something we can launch quite quickly. Although increasingly the insurers are ingesting all of our APIs and using it for more strategic purposes, ingesting all the data into their backend systems. Lancer Schaffringar in Sweden is actually ingesting our APIs to drive customers so they can drive them onto their own digital products and do more cross-sell. So there's lots of ways that we're starting to integrate more deeply with insurers, but out of the box, it's quite easy for us to launch something with them.
I suppose another way of phrasing my last question would be to say that you're saving insurance companies many more times the value of your market cap.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, look, we're still at the very start of this journey, Zach. So we only came on the market, on the stock market in March 2022. We're still a small company today, just 25 odd employees. So we're really at the foothills of the mountain, but we're growing really quickly, and we're signing more and more of these insurers deals. We started in this kind of foothold in Scandinavia and in our home market in the UK. But the massive opportunity really is in the United States. I mean, the market's vast. The structural economics in insurance are even better over there. So our return on investment is a no-brainer for US carriers. The only thing that holds us back there is I think it's that perception that, wait a minute, you're a tiny UK company. When we're talking to the big US carriers, is it credible that we could roll out across 30 states in the US if a trial was successful? But we're making some serious inroads there. We just announced our first partnership a few weeks ago with Mutual of Enumclaw in the Pacific Northwest. They're going to install 10,000 LeakBots in their customers' homes starting in a few weeks, actually. I think we're on track for an August 1st launch. And our sense is once we announce a couple more deals in the US, that momentum's going to build and build.
Well, I suppose that's the point. You've been on the London market for just over a year. And anyone in America says, who are you? You say we're listed on the London stock market. So that's your credibility. And it sort of leads me on to my final point there. I mean, there's lots of news about, the dearth of IPOs and everything else, but I presume that you'd say that your experience on the stock market has been absolutely fantastic, at least judging by the share price and the reaction here. Would you just say as a general comment that, this type of companies that or list on the stock market are not necessarily the right ones for the current market, and you have to think very carefully in terms of your niche and how it will help your strategy and your business to develop by being on the stock market as opposed to being private?
Yeah, it's a great question, Zach. I mean, I'm going to give you a really honest answer to that, which is we were a carve out of a big corporate, and I was looking for investment, and I never in a million years thought we would end up as a public company. And it was a cash shell, Spinnaker Acquisitions, that were listed on the market, and we did a deal with them. But I took a bit of convincing, actually, that a company at our stage were well suited to being a public company. And I'll be honest, we came on the market in March 2022. As you know, the markets were pretty bad immediately after that. So the first kind of 9 months were hard yards, where we didn't have any investor profile. No one had heard of us. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be to build that profile, because I maybe naively thought we've got an amazing market opportunity, huge addressable market, proprietary technology, a really interesting pipeline, lots of announcements to come. Investors are surely going to like this. But as we were a new quantity and the market was bad, we were putting announcements out, and there was no liquidity on our stock, no trades at all. But I'm happy to say it's not that long ago, really, since about April, where investors really started to pick up the story and have got to understand a bit how big the opportunity is, and so that's been really nice to see. So yeah, the more recent months have been it's been all good from a trading point of view the last year, but from an investor relations and a share price point of view, we just flatlined for a while, and then lots of people have discovered the story recently, which has been really, really great to see.
Well, on that positive note, Craig Foster, CEO at Ondo, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Zach. Good to speak to you.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.